A Texas family is speaking out after their son, Christopher Nienhuis, was attacked by a mob. The mob rushed after him with an alleged argument that broke out in the parking lot. Cell phone video shows the angry mob running towards Christopher before police say he pulled a knife and stabbed another teen. That teen was later taken to the hospital in serious but stable condition. Christopher was arrested by police and charged with aggravated assault causing bodily injury. He was expelled from school and wrongly punished for acting in self defense. Christopher's father says his son was acting in self defense and is being unfairly punished. The 18-year-old's family is calling for the charges to be dropped. Now, the family's speaking out.
Too often, when a young black boy defends himself against mob violence, he is not seen as the victim, but he's portrayed as the aggressor. That is what is happening to my son. Despite being surrounded, taunted, and attacked, Christopher is being painted as the one at fault. This is not justice, this is not fairness, and this is not the community we should want Midlothian to be. I call on everyone who believes in truth and justice and in protecting our children to stand with us. My son deserves the same fairness, dignity, and presumption of innocence that any other child would receive. This is bigger than just my family. This is about whether we as a community are willing to confront biases, hold institutions accountable, and ensure that no black person, man, woman, or child is punished for simply trying to survive.
Now, I think it's important before we carry on to provide a bit of context about Midlothian, Texas, and how it's really a good representation of some of what a lot of what we're dealing with now, rather with the MAGA movement and this rise and intensity of racism. Midlothian is a town in Texas, and one of the issues they're facing is too many black and brown people have moved in too fast. Same old story that we've been dealing with forever. You know what I'm saying? White flight, people move from the cities to the suburbs. Black families look to get a piece of the American dream. They move to the suburbs as well. Redlining, it's the same old story. So this isn't new. But actually in Midlothian, a couple months ago, a black family's house was set on fire. This footage, they got this footage on a Ring camera. Also, the school districts have had issues when black students wanted to start a black student union. There was a member of the school board in Midlothian, Texas, who wore blackface to a public event. And also, there was a student in the Midlothian school district, and this went viral. They said the N-word like 20 times. So again, this isn't just like a one-off incident. This is the type of environment that black and brown families have to deal with as they move to Midlothian. And this is issues and incidents that we see across the country, particularly in the South still. So I wanted to leave that context so that y'all can understand that this is an issue that's even bigger than just the Nienhuis family. Christopher's father issued a statement in a fundraising effort for his son. Quote, Christopher was the victim of a brutal attack by a mob of white aggressors. In a desperate act of self-defense, he protected himself. Yet because one of the attackers was the son of an Ellis County Sheriff's deputy, my family has been targeted with death threats, intimidation, and harassment. And again, you know, this has been ongoing. Ever since the Nienhuis family moved to Midlothian, Texas, they've been targeted and harassed by community members, people at the school. This is a cultural issue that black and brown families face in Midlothian, Texas. Christopher's father continues, this is not an isolated event. My family has a long history of mistreatment, discrimination, and harassment from the Midlothian Police Department, the Midlothian Independent School District, and now the Ellis County Sheriff's Department. And we're going to share the link in the description for people to support the family to help pay for the defense costs. But again, this is the Nienhuis family, Christopher, who's being unjustly and unfairly targeted for just defending himself. I mean, if a group of 8 to 10 people is coming to jump you, you're probably not just going to turn your cheek and let it happen, no matter how that goes down. So Mark Nienhuis actually will be on the show on Friday, talking with Dr. Richey to talk a bit more about their experience, how we can help the family. But it was important that we raise this issue so that y'all know and that we all know what's going on in the United States. Sharon, what are your thoughts on this and just how families experience this type of stuff still to this day in America?
Well, that's why it's important. And I love this father, okay, and this family for having to endure this, but having the courage to speak out because, by the way, they still live there, as you pointed out. And this is a historical thing. It has a historical context. The family's been mistreated a lot, as we heard the father's words there. It's disgusting. It's sad. Imagine all the people who didn't speak out and they just took it. And that doesn't mean they're cowards. It just means they're resigned to the fact that this is how parts of America work. Too many parts of America. If their son was of a different hue and shot and killed people in Kenosha, Wisconsin, Tucker Carlson and Turning Point USA would have a GoFundMe and raise money for him. He'd get a book deal too. He'd actually have a book deal. He'd cry on the stand, and people would feel sorry for his pimple face non-confession, and his name would be Kyle Rittenhouse. Or perhaps he would stalk someone down in Florida who just had a Snapple iced tea, maybe some Skittles, and his name would be Zimmerman, and he'd get off scot-free. But it seems in this jurisdiction in Texas, they are twisting themselves in knots to try to reverse the course of events here and make the victim the accused. And they'll get away with it too. They'll actually get away with this, as we've seen too often. I love, again, that Dr. Richey is going to have a conversation here on Friday on Indisputable, because the more we talk about it, the more you shine light on it, the less dark it can be for just one family. Perhaps these con artists down there who are doing this injustice will moonwalk some of it back. Doesn't mean it's going to be great, but we just got to keep shining a light on it.
Yeah, absolutely. And hopefully, the Nienhuis family is able to get out of Midlothian very soon, in light of all of this. But again, this is a type of treatment that Black and Brown families face as they move into newer communities, just trying to live their lives. Just going about every day, just doing what
Breathing.
all of us do.